Today I want to talk about geofences in CameraMatics. Sometimes it's helpful to know when a vehicle or the person driving the vehicle either entered or left a specific area. It could be just a case of knowing when a particular run started, or demonstrating that a team arrived at a particular job and how long they stayed. They can also be used to prevent theft or fraudulent use. If a vehicle isn't supposed to leave a particular area at a particular time of day, then it helps to define what that area is and know as soon as it happens. Or one more example, you might want to define a particular area such as a work site and want notifications, or at least a record, when vehicles arrive and leave, and if any vehicle exceeds a specified speed limit within it. Let's take a look at how geofences work in CameraMatics. To create one, I click on Geofencing here. Here I can see all the geofences currently in use, just 3 in this case, it's a demo account. Let's add another by hitting the plus button here. I can now define an area on the map that I want to place a geofence around. I just click here and I can either use a predefined shape or any polygon here. Let's just put a circle in for the moment. Then I give the geofence a name and description, and then I can choose a color, which can be a handy way to differentiate between different types of geofence, or just to make one memorable. I've defined the area. Now I choose what specific events will trigger an alert. So entering the area, leaving the area, or if the speed of a vehicle within the geofence exceeds or goes below a specific amount, which of course I can specify. I can then get a notification if a vehicle is parked for more than a certain amount of time within this area. Let's set this to receive notifications when vehicles enter and leave, and if any vehicle goes above 15 kilometers per hour. Once I've done that, I can choose when this geofence is active in terms of the time of day or night, which obviously can be important and significant. And last but definitely not least, we need to choose the vehicles we wish to track. These are easily accessed within pre-specified groups specified by the user, of course, here on the right, and I can choose individually or by group. Let's apply this to our whole demo fleet. Why not? So to recap, we will now get notifications when any of these vehicles enter, leave, or travel over 15 kilometers per hour in this area at any time of day. So let's save it. Obviously, it goes without saying I can have as many geofences as I want, and by doing so I can provide total transparency around the operation of my fleet and my business. Lastly, let me show you very quickly how we check reports on geofences. All I have to do is click into geofence events in here and use the filters here to select a date range, and obviously we've got all the usual options covered, and then we can filter in a variety of additional ways here. So we can show read or unread alerts, we can specify the type of event, so I, for example, may show only the speeding events, for example, and I can group events by either vehicle or geofence. Grouping is significant for geofences. If I group by a specific geofence, like a work site, and I choose one specific day, I'll get an instant report on all the traffic in and out of that site within that 24 hours. So in other words, it's a really fast way to get information you're often looking for in that context. Now let's open up a group here and look at a specific event, doesn't matter which. We'll see the additional detail here, including the precise nature of the event, so it was entry in this case, and the time, the vehicle, and so on. Now if there's an issue, I can download footage and additional data. I can choose precisely what data I want to see from the views that are available, and then we can review it here, and of course, if necessary, we can share it with the driver. And just lastly, before I go, and coming soon, possibly live by the time you're watching this video, we're bringing in email alerts on specific geofence events. So fleet managers can actually get immediate notifications when a geofence is broken, which means they can respond immediately if it's a case, for example, of theft or fraudulent use. Thanks very much. That's geofences in CameraMatics.